All right, so here we are, final in-depth episode for the Kiss the Echo podcast season 2, where we focus on all the Batman films from when we've covered everything. We've done Batman 89, Batman Returns, animated Batman films, the Christopher Nolan films, the Joel Schumacher films.
Yes.
And now we have seen and witnessed the Batman, Matt Reeves film, which came out last week. And we're going to talk about it. We're a bit delayed. We wanted to get this out just after the release, but sadly, I decided to go and get COVID. And
not from the Batman,
though. Not from the Batman, no. But it really leveled me. But here I am. I'm going to do my best not to cough my way through this episode. So have to all bear with me if all of a sudden it sounds like I'm slowly dying.
Becoming a Batman villain.
Basically, I'll get the voice from Christian Bale's Batman.
Yeah, that's probably how he did it. Just got really sick.
He did. Nice. All right, we should just jump in. We're going to try and cover as much as we can about the film. We haven't really spoken about that much other than we've both seen it a couple of times.
Yes.
And I was a little bit skeptical when I came out of the first viewing of it because I saw it on my own, the cool guy that I am. Thankfully, the audience will be grateful that I did sit on my own, not knowing at that point that I probably had COVID. But yeah, so I saw it and I kind of wanted to just talk to someone about it straight away because I had too many thoughts to break down. And I was on the fence with a couple of bits, which I still am, even after 2 viewings, but we'll get to that. So I don't know where you want to start. Do you want to just go from the beginning and work our way through the film? Or do you want to just talk about...
Well,
you start, Nick. You tell me. I'm too poorly.
I've been thinking of this. So, first of all, yes, when you first saw it, because short story here, I was meant to see it a really late night showing, and Luke was supposed to see it the following day. And we had agreed that rather than talking about it, we would send each other a Marvelous Mrs. Maisel GIF.
Yes, that's true.
Which is the best thing you could ever do. I will be talking more about Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on the next episode. But yes.
Have you finished it though? I take it just before.
Well, we've got another 2 episodes, haven't we, this week?
Yeah. But you finished the last season, so it's the season that's just been on. Because it's over now, isn't it?
No, there's another 2 episodes, I think.
No, it's done.
Is it? I thought it was 10 rather than 8.
I thought it was 8.
I thought it was 10. Well, but yes,
I'm sorry. I'm completely. We should not talk about Marvelous Miss Maisel over the pattern. But yes, gifts. Let's go back. Gifts.
But yes, we will talk about it. But yes, those episodes are amazing. But yeah, anyway, so that's what we said. Anyway, so then Luke ended up seeing it before me, and so again we stuck to the same thing. And Luke's GIF was a curious one. I was like, I don't know how to take this, and I think he sent it just as I was about to leave for the cinema with Harry.
Yes, I did.
And so I'd sort of got in the car and I was like, Harry, I don't know how to take this GIF because and he hasn't seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So I was kind of like already in a realm of he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And I was like, I don't know how to take this. I don't know whether he didn't like it or whether he liked it but thought there's a lot in it, or because the one you sent was a GIF of the characters saying, I don't want to fight. And so then I was like, oh, is he going really deep and saying that there's no action in this film, that there's no fighting? And I was like, I don't know how to take this. And so, so I think I texted you and said, oh, intriguing. I don't know how to take it. And you said something along the lines of like, I don't think we're going to be on the same, we're going to be opposites in terms of how we'll be. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, because I couldn't see myself not enjoying this film. Like based on all the trailers, I was like, I think this is made for me.
So that was my gut reaction. That was because there were things that I didn't like about it, but in my head I was like, the things I didn't like, I bet you're gonna love.
Probably.
I was like, you're probably gonna really like this whole film, and then I'm gonna be a bit negative about certain things, which are very minor overall.
It's all right.
But I imagine you would be like, no. And I was right. The bits that I didn't like.
And we'll get into everything that I love about it. But before we do, so obviously I saw it with Harry, so I know Harry's reaction to it, and Harry, previous guest on the in-depth series, I think it's fair to say he loved it as well. as we talk about the film, there is a certain point that I will bring up Harry, an anecdote with Harry while watching it. And then I'd also spoken to Neil and Jeremy, who we've had on the in-depth series throughout our second season, and got them to tell us in a short sentence or a couple of sentences what they thought of the Batman. So I thought to start us off, I could read these out. So when we talk about it, we also know what the rest of our guests have thought.
Yeah, definitely go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so Neil, who you can also read his review on his website, Get Your Comic On, said, as a lifelong Bat fan, this was the Caped Crusader I've always waited for. Keaton might be my Batman, but Pattinson is the Batman. I was like, cool, interesting.
Powerful.
Yeah. Jeremy said, though the Batman was a lengthy film, it dashed all of my expectations and really surprised me. I loved it. It was a well thought out detective film that didn't let the viewer in on too much. Instead of cutting to the villains in past films to see what they're doing and plotting, you were really along for the same ride as the police and the Batman. Also loved the view and perception of the Batman being portrayed differently to the viewer through the eyes of the police and Jim Gordon, and the eyes of the criminals. They differed so much. When he's with the police, he just seemed like a guy in a funny suit, but walking out of the darkness to beat on criminals, he seemed horrifying.
Nice.
So I thought, as they'd said those, I thought they were a pretty good starting point for us, because one of the things I absolutely did love about this film was the presence of Batman.